Good evening. This is MemphisWeather.net meteorologist Erik Proseus. It's about 7:30 on Monday evening, December 21st, and wanted to record a video blog tonight to go through some of the things we're looking at regarding the very warm, wet, unstable Christmas week forecast that we have for you for this week. Unfortunately, it does not feel a lot like Christmas. White Christmas is definitely not in the cards this week. In fact, we're going to be dealing with potential severe weather on Wednesday that we're going to talk about in more detail, and on and off rain chances for the better part of the next week or so. We'll go through some of that as well. So hopefully this will give you a little bit of information you can use for this week for planning. And if you're going to be traveling, we'll show you the big picture as well as we go later on here. So we're going to start off with taking a quick look here at the surface map and going through the next several days just to kind of show you what weather systems are going to be affecting our region as we go through this upcoming week. This is starting off with this afternoon surface map, and so Memphis being right here in the southwest corner of Tennessee, we've got a cold front off to our west from about St. Louis down through northwest Arkansas and trailing back towards the Red River of Oklahoma and Texas. And as we go into this evening, we do have some rain around the area. Most of that is off to our southeast right now, but looks like that front is going to be moving into the region during the night tonight, getting to the Mississippi River around midnight or so, and that's going to bring an end to the rain that we've had on and off during the day today. There was a little bit of thunder down to our south earlier this afternoon. Most of that is gone now, and most of the rain is off to the east, but that front is going to come through, and as we head into tomorrow, you'll see that by 6 a.m. tomorrow, that front is off to our southeast. Still some lingering rain chances along and just behind the front, and especially out ahead of it. Pretty messy weather start for the east coast of the United States tomorrow. If you're going to be traveling out tomorrow for Christmas, then going east, going to have a fair amount of rain. Going to the west, north, southwest should be fairly dry weather. Now, as we head into the day tomorrow, that's around noon, and then heading back towards Tuesday evening, you'll see that that front basically stalled out and now is starting to pull back north as a warm front, and as it does so, you're going to start to see those rain chances increase once again as we head into tomorrow night. Now, I don't think we'll see any washouts tomorrow evening. In fact, probably just hit and miss showers moving back into the area tomorrow, but it does look like we could see a few showers as we head into tomorrow night. Most of the day tomorrow, though, is dry. Now, by the time we get to Wednesday morning, Wednesday's going to be the day we're going to watch pretty closely for strong thunderstorms. And you see that warm front is pulled well up to the north. Low pressure out over the plains has basically pulled that front to the north and is dragging another cold front back with it that will be making a run at us. Out ahead of that, we are in what's called the warm sector, and this is something we usually talk about in the springtime, not in the middle of December, but this is a fairly spring-like setup that we've got going on, and we've got warm southerly flow coming off of the Gulf of Mexico, warm moist air, and pretty good chances of showers and thunderstorms even as early as the start of the day on Wednesday. So if you're going to be leaving Wednesday morning and traveling, you're going to want to keep a pretty close eye on the weather, and it looks like you'll be in and out of showers and some thunderstorms just about anywhere within a one-day drive from Memphis during the day on Wednesday. Taking it up to Wednesday evening here, you see this front is moving closer. This is 6 p.m. Wednesday, so most of the rain and thunderstorms are going to be along and east of the Mississippi River. Again, the eastern U.S. looking very wet and stormy perhaps, especially from the Ohio Valley down to the Gulf Coast, including the Mid-South. And again, very warm, moist air coming up out ahead of this cold front that's moving towards the area. Now, as we head into Thursday morning, you see that front kind of stalls out to our north and really just kind of sits over the area. High pressure to the north of that, still some warm southerly air down on the south side of it. So this is Christmas morning, front just to our north, and it looks like we may get a little bit of a break on Christmas Eve from the rain during the day on Thursday, but by Friday, we'll be seeing those rain chances moving back into the area. And that continues as we head into Saturday. It looks like we're back into the warm sector of another approaching system, low pressure system out over the plains. Warm front well to our north, Could be some record temperatures on Saturday with showers and thunderstorms. A decent bet, especially to our north, up closer to this front. And by Sunday, that front gets back down, drops down closer to us. The cooler air pushes towards the area, but we're still on the south side of that front. So again, showers and thunderstorms possible, and still warm air in place. And it looks like that's going to be the case even into the early part of next week. Get another low pressure system wrapping up here in the plains, and finally could be pushing through a cold front during the day on Monday next week. That'll be a pretty good chance of rain. And once again, you see that Monday morning we're in the warm sector south of the warm front, ahead of the cold front. It looks like a unstable pattern. It looks warm and wet, and things just do not look a lot like Christmas. Let's take a little bit more detailed look at Wednesday, because I want to spend a few minutes talking about the threat that we might have on Wednesday for strong to severe storms. As you know, this time of year, if we're going to be seeing temperatures that are pushing 70 degrees, then there's a pretty decent chance that as showers and thunderstorms move through the area, that we may have severe weather. This is the Storm Prediction Center outlook for Wednesday. And actually, I think what I'll do is I'll back up one day. This is actually for tomorrow. So during the day Tuesday, as that cold front moves towards the area, we're going to get on the warm sector of that system. And not too bad here, but you see off to our southwest from Oklahoma down into Texas, the Dallas area. If you're headed towards the west tomorrow, from Little Rock down over towards Oklahoma City, south down to Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, those areas are going to be prone for severe thunderstorms possible during the day on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, you see that that does shift over and get into the Mid-South area. Now, this is an early look at Wednesday. I expect that this will change tomorrow when day 3 becomes day 2 and they reissue this outlook. But for right now, it looks like areas pretty much south of I-40, Nashville to Jackson to Memphis to Little Rock, areas south of that line have the best chance for seeing the possibility of severe storms during the day Wednesday. Certainly cannot rule out the chance that we're going to get thunderstorms north of that as well. But for right now, that is the area that is a slight risk. And what that means is that that's basically category 2 out of our 5 category system for severe storms. And so a category 2 out of 5 possibility. The probabilistic outlook basically indicates that there is about a 15% chance of severe weather occurring within 25 miles of any point within that yellow area, and that does include the Mid-South, Memphis metro area, pardon me. So that is what the Storm Prediction Center is looking at. Let's take a look at some of the underlying model data here that's giving us these, that shows us that there might be a chance. So I'm going to go to about the 5,000 foot level, because we looked at the surface level pretty good here. And so we are looking at here the NAM model, North American model, and this is at 5,000 feet. And so to orient you, Memphis is right in here. This is the continental United States, and I'm going to fast forward through this first of all to get into that day on Wednesday. So this is during the day Tuesday. The strongest winds are going to be in the areas where the hotter colors are, the purples into reds, and those winds are somewhere around the 50 knots, which is about severe limits, 55 miles an hour. But again, this is 5,000 feet up. This is early on Wednesday, and so basically what we've got here is a pretty nice trough of low pressure at 5,000 feet. It's kind of an elevated cold front that basically is out over the plains, and out ahead of that, very strong southerly wind pushing up from the south. And you see the strongest winds here of about 50 to 55 knots, or close to 60 miles an hour, or just off to our west on Wednesday morning. As we go through the day, this is noontime. See a few spots in there that are approaching 60 to 65 knots, which is closer to 70 miles an hour. So 5,000 feet off the ground, we're looking at winds around 50 to 60 miles per hour very easily. So clouds at that level are going to be racing from the south to the north. You'll be able to tell that pretty well by just looking up and seeing those clouds, if there's not clouds below it to obstruct that, and I think there might actually be. Those winds stay pretty strong through the day, so that is through 6 p.m. on Wednesday, and then you see they finally start to pull off a little bit as we go into the night, Wednesday night. Now I want to switch to look at the jet stream level, and let's advance this up starting, this is during the day tomorrow. And so here's a pretty powerful jet stream midday tomorrow that's on the Pacific coast coming in over Oregon, and it takes a little bit of a dip. It's quite a bit weaker over the plains. There's a little bit of a jet streak or a strong uh, jet stream level wind max right over here in the northeast. But as we watch this go through, this is up to midnight, and there is 6 a.m. on Wednesday. You see that jet stream is kind of pushing down into the plains, and basically what we've developed here is a trough of low pressure along that jet stream level. This is up at about 30,000 feet, where the winds come down around that trough and then exit that trough up over the mid-south. So the wind flow is basically kind of in this V. And as we go through the day, that V basically advances towards the mid-south, and what we have here is a trough that is oriented from northwest to southeast, which means it has a negative tilt. And a negative tilt trough is one that has been known in the past for being a pretty good setup for the possibility of severe weather, a negative tilt trough, which means that it's not oriented straight north-south, it's northwest to southeast. And as you see as we go into the day, that basically pushes right through the area. We've got winds that are close to 100 miles an hour right over the mid-south. The red areas here are up closer to 120, so pretty good jet just up to our north, and that puts us in a fairly favorable position for the possibility of storms as well. I'll switch one more time here. We're going to look at the about the 18,000 foot level, kind of going back down just a little bit here, but this is what shows us where our upper level energy is coming from. And so when we talk about upper level disturbances, or you may hear the term vorticity maximum or vort max, basically we're talking about upper level energy that moves through and kind of triggers some of these storms. So we are looking at, let me go back a couple here. This is 6 a.m. Wednesday again, and there is a trough right over the plains as this 500 millibar or 18,000 foot level shows, basically kind of a U-shaped in the pattern here. And that is the trough, and then the brighter colors in these areas are basically these upper level energy systems that move through that level of the atmosphere. And so as we go through the day, here's one of them coming in. This is midday Wednesday, so there's one of those upper level disturbances. And then you see another one kind of back here over Arkansas moving towards the area again later in the day. That's about 6 p.m. Wednesday. And as you see, as we go through the nighttime hours Wednesday night, that kind of lifts off and flattens up to our north. There's not a lot of those kind of upper level disturbances in the area. So again, you see a couple of those that could be moving through and perhaps produce a couple of waves of thunderstorms during the day on Wednesday. Finally, we're going to take a look at the precip a little bit closer here for Wednesday. I want to zoom in. We're going to go down to the southeastern U.S. and we're going to look at 3-hour precip, and let's start this again midday tomorrow. So Memphis now is in your upper left corner up here, and we're going to be able to see as we go into Tuesday night, we're seeing some scattered showers around. This is basically 3-hourly precipitation at 3-hour intervals, and so it's just showing us where rain has fallen in the 3 hours leading up to the time that we're looking at. That is midnight. This is 6 a.m. Wednesday, so there's some rain off here to the east from the southern Appalachians back into maybe the Birmingham area, Atlanta, and there's another area moving in from the west here by 6 a.m. Wednesday, and that looks to kind of make a run at us maybe with that first little disturbance we were just looking at. So this is midday Wednesday, and we are seeing the possibility of some precip, probably some scattered storms in that area, and that kind of focuses maybe along that disturbance during the afternoon. So we could end up getting some clusters or maybe kind of a mini line of storms perhaps by mid-afternoon. This is showing it just east of Memphis, but this far out we're not ruling out this happening anywhere in the metro. It just shows you the trend that there's definitely going to be precip around, and it could be fairly heavy. Some of that is showing half an inch or more in a 3-hourly window, so that's some pretty heavy rain that's falling, and that continues into the evening. This is through 9 p.m. and then it kind of tapers off a little bit as we go through Wednesday night. So again, looks like on and off throughout the day. We've had a few questions asked about, well, when do we going to expect these severe storms, or the possibility, and it looks like we could have a couple of rounds just scattered throughout the daytime. A couple more products to look at. I want to show you a couple of the severe products. This is what we call surface-based CAPE, and CAPE is basically just an index of its convective available potential energy, which basically means what is the amount of instability in the air. And of course, we need to have instability to be able to produce thunderstorms. You need some sort of rising motion in the air. And so that's what we're looking at here. And I'm going to take this into, this is 6 a.m. Wednesday. So you see, we really don't have that much rising air around as early as 6 a.m. Wednesday. But as we go through the day, here's noon, and so these values are approaching maybe 700 to 800, and they're measured in joules per kilogram. Basically, 700 to 800 is enough instability this time of year to get thunderstorms going. It doesn't take a whole lot this time of year to really to get the thunderstorms going. That may not be a whole lot in the summertime, but 700 to 800 is certainly enough for December. And then you notice as we go further through the day, even around 6 p.m., this gets up closer to the 1,000 mark. And 1,000 is, again, more than enough. Now, comparing to the other models, this one is kind of maybe a little bit on the high side as far as the amount of instability that could be realized. The GFS model, another one that we look at that I won't take time to show you, is a little bit lower than this, but it still is in that 500 to 1,000 range, which indicates we have enough instability to produce those storms. If you'll remember back in November, we had 2 or 3 different systems that came through that had a lot of wind energy, especially aloft, but there was very, very little instability with those. And so the severe weather threat didn't materialize. We got a lot of heavy rain, but we did not get the stronger storms. In this case, it looks like some of that instability is going to be there, which could definitely fuel some of these storms. And that instability sticks around into the early evening and then falls apart and moves to the east as that front kind of moves through during the night Wednesday night. And the last thing that I'll show you, and certainly not to scare anyone or anything like that, but we do also look at what's called the significant tornado parameter, and this is just another index that tells us basically how much shear we have in the atmosphere, how much turning of their winds there is from the surface up to the lowest levels, the lowest several thousand feet of the atmosphere, and it is also based on the amount of instability. So it kind of puts those together, and it gives us a nice index that tells us whether or not we have the potential for tornadoes. Now, this does not certainly mean we're going to have tornadoes, but by the time we look at this, you'll see that why I'm saying that we can't rule out the possibility of a tornado with this. And so here is the midday on Wednesday at noon. Values in here are now over 1. They're basically 1 to 1.5. And the number we look for on this for the kind of the low end potential for tornadoes is 1.0. And so we have realized that. And you see as we go into the afternoon, actually towards 6 p.m., this number actually climbs up closer to 2. The higher the number, basically, the better chance there is that you could see, or that the environment is conducive for the possibility of tornadoes. So 2.0 is enough as well. This is not the same scale as they use on the Weather Channel with the Torcon. I don't know exactly how they come about with those numbers on Torcon. The statistics are not published on where those numbers come from, but this is just one of the more widely used parameters that meteorologists in general like to look at just to see what the possibility is, whether tornadoes are a threat or whether it's just other types of severe weather. And so by looking at this, we know that not only do we have updrafts that are strong enough to support a rotating thunderstorm, which also means we have a threat of hail and certainly damaging winds, but we could get some rotation in these storms that would be capable of possibly producing a tornado. So that's one of the threats we're going to be watching for on Wednesday and that you need to be prepared for as we head into the day Wednesday. And as you see, once again, by the evening and overnight hours, that threat diminishes as we go farther on. So that's kind of what's behind the scenes on some of the model data we look at. Let's take a little bit, very quickly, take a little bit bigger picture at what's going to be going on after Wednesday. And so we are switched over to the GFS model here. I will blow this up just a little bit so we can see it. Memphis is right here in the middle. And so we are now looking at Christmas Eve. This is Thursday morning and the area is dry. Here's that line of weather that we had on Wednesday shifting off to the east. And as that moves through, you'll see that we're basically looking for a pretty good chance that Thursday, Christmas Eve, is going to be a dry day. High pressure building in. Now it is not going to be that much cooler, but we will definitely have a much calmer day on Christmas Eve. As we head into Christmas, unfortunately, we start to see this return flow or the southerly wind starting to pick back up. The GFS model here is showing that Christmas morning itself would be dry, but by the time we get into the afternoon, we are back with this warm front surging back to the north. We get back into that warm southerly flow, and chances of thunderstorms resume by Friday afternoon. I'll tell you that I've also looked at the European model. It has been very consistent for the last several days, and it actually has those storms coming in a little bit quicker, or scattered showers and thunderstorms coming back a little quicker as early as Christmas morning. So that possibility is there, and we're watching for that as well. And then this continues overnight, Friday night, with the possibility of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then you'll notice as we get into Saturday, this is Saturday morning, a lot of this rain has pushed off to the north in the Ohio Valley, back across St. Louis, northwestern Arkansas, the Ozarks, and back towards the Red River. And it kind of stays up there during the day on Saturday. So this would indicate Saturday might possibly be fairly dry, although maybe a chance of some showers, but definitely warm. This is the warm front up here to the north. We're on the warm sector, and so we're once again going to be looking at the chance of perhaps record temperatures on Saturday. And as we see as we go into Sunday, it starts to bring that weather back down to the south. This is a developing low pressure system we looked at on the surface map earlier, and it pushes that system through here during the day on Monday, when finally we may get to see an end to this pattern, at least for a little while, by the end of the day Monday. So here's a look at the overall forecast as we have it right now. We're starting off with tonight. We've got some rain still around the area. Most of that is moving out. The isolated thunderstorm threat's really about over. Low temperatures tonight will be around 53. Temperatures are holding until midnight or so. We're going to hold up around 60 until a front comes through. We'll be dropping down to 53 for low tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy during the day tomorrow. Could see some patchy fog and low clouds tomorrow morning, but most of the day is going to remain mostly cloudy. Just a 10% chance of rain, but the afternoon high will be up to 70, and that's about 10 degrees warmer than it was today. So be prepared for that. And the record high for tomorrow is also a fairly cool one for the days that we're in right now. The record high for tomorrow is also 70. So we could tie that tomorrow afternoon. Most of the records this time of year are in the mid 70s, but that's one is definitely within reach. Chance of showers and thunderstorms resumes Tuesday night, especially as we head late into the night, early Wednesday. We were just talking about Wednesday. Winds pick up out of the south at 15 to gusting to 25, 63 for the overnight low. That is about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than we usually get for our high temperatures this time of year. So definitely a warm air mass in place. That leads into Wednesday, where we have showers and thunderstorms. A few of those could be severe. The threats you're going to want to be paying attention to include all of what we would expect with severe weather. So damaging wind is a possibility. That would be 60 miles an hour or greater. And certainly any storms that even don't reach severe limits could produce 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Hail is a threat as well. This time of year, typically we've got pretty cold air aloft, and with the warm air at the surface and the updrafts and stuff we'll get from the thunderstorms, we could look for some hail. And a isolated tornado threat, cannot rule that out at this point on Wednesday. So all modes of severe weather possible, and of course any thunderstorm that moves over the area would also contain very heavy rain. Afternoon high on Wednesday, 75 degrees, and that's with hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. If we get more rain, we may not get quite that high, but 75 is going to be very close to a record as well. South winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Wednesday is going to be a difficult travel day if you're headed out as well. So keep that in mind and watch for that as you head towards Wednesday. Chance of showers early on Wednesday night, and then that rain moves out. The low down to 54 for Christmas Eve. During the day, Thursday, Christmas Eve, partly cloudy skies by afternoon. Temperatures back up near 70 degrees. Christmas Day, we're looking for those showers and thunderstorms to return back to the Mid-South. Unseasonably warm. The afternoon high once again near 70. That is nothing like Christmas weather around here. Unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with this year. And for Saturday, Sunday, chances of showers and thunderstorms, if the models pan out, most of that's going to be to our north. We may see more dry hours than wet both days this weekend. And that's going to allow those temperatures to get in the mid-70s on Saturday. I believe the record on Saturday is 76. Lows in the mid-60s. Sunday, upper 60s, and Monday we saw that system moving back through the mid-south. The cold front that kind of wraps all this up, that's going to start to bring those temperatures back down, but still well above normal, mid 60s during the day Monday. All of those days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, still have a lot of question marks related to exactly what's going to happen, but let's just say that the warm and unstable pattern looks to continue. And actually, if we go out to the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Weather Service that leads us out into early January, temperatures remain above average, precipitation above average. So let's take a look quickly here at the record highs for December 25th, Christmas Day. We're predicting a high of 70. That would put us in the top 5 warmest Christmas days in Memphis history. At least recorded history. The highest temperature, 76, recorded way back in 1889. Looks like the most recent record is going to be, wow, we got to go way down here. 2008, 57 was the high. That can't be right. Let's see, what did I miss? Yeah, the last warmest Christmas that we had, 2008, 57 degrees. We're going to blow that out of the water. This will definitely be the warmest we've had in many, many years. So, a couple of things to mention as we close up here. First of all, I want to make sure that you are prepared for the possibility of severe weather. We will continue to update you on social media via our Twitter and Facebook postings. Make sure that you are checking out our app as well. MemphisWeather.net app is available for Android and iOS. You can find that in your app store. You can also get more information by going to blog.MemphisWeather.net and click on the MWN mobile apps tab, and that'll take you to this page. It describes it. There's some links to download it for you. Describes what you can find in there, which includes one of the only human-generated forecasts for the Mid-South that you will find in an app. This is not a model forecast. We write this forecast, and it is human-generated, so that's the one you want to go for. It's got your radar, satellite, severe weather outlooks like we've discussed tonight are updated in the app as well. You can get the latest local weather conditions and certainly links to our social media feeds. And for Wednesday, I again strongly recommend that you have multiple ways of getting severe weather information. That would include a NOAA weather radio. But if you're going to be out and about on Wednesday, you need a way to be able to get severe weather information within our app. You can upgrade to Stormwatch Plus, which is our severe weather alert push notification service for the specific location where you are. You can program individual locations. You can have it follow you in case you're going around, or even if you're traveling. This works nationwide. Take it with you. Turn on En route, which is our dynamic alerting service that follows you and makes sure that it lets you know if you drive into severe weather. That does work nationwide. You can type in, you can select the types of severe weather notifications or winter weather notifications you want to get, and it will even wake you up at night if any of this stuff moves through in the middle of the night. Tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings in particular. So check that out. It's about a fourth of the cost of a NOAA weather radio, and it is highly customizable. It's definitely one you want to be checking out as we go into the next week or so, and certainly as we get into spring season as well. But as you know, we can get severe weather just about any time of the year here in the Mid-South, and you want to be prepared just about any time. So that's all I have for tonight. Please stay with us. Check out our forecast. Keep up with us on social media. MemphisWeather1 on Twitter, MemphisWeather.net on Facebook, and we will keep you updated. Stay safe. Stay warm. You will do that. That won't be an issue. And certainly to all of you, we thank you so much for following us throughout the year. Happy holidays from MemphisWeather.net.